So, just in your regular practice, just try to see the feeling tone, or, in meditation, but also not in post meditation. Just all there is to do is to try to be aware, become aware, realize your only task is to know the feeling tone instead of being ignorant of the feeling tone. That's all there is. That's all this is. But once you know that feeling tone, I'm probably going to say this in the wrong way. It's not going to be exactly correct, maybe, but if you do that, you're liable to find a hint or more than a hint of aggression in the feeling tone. You've managed to create yourself a certain amount of aggression in the feeling tone you're feeling. As you're doing. You're doing that all the time. So, the Shambhala warrior, his task is to defeat aggression. That's the only job, is victory over war. I didn't do a very good job this week. I started a war. I let my anger just eat my fucking lunch and started a fucking war. But we do that ourselves, we do that. We let our anger or fear that becomes anger, a lot of times fear becomes, aggression. Fear and aggression, or we usually, a lot of times, experience fear, turn to aggression. That's how we don't have to experience fear and turn to aggression. We can experience fear and the way a Shambhala warrior experiences fear and have it turn into wisdom, to fearlessness, to confidence. But we got to defeat aggression, our tendency to go with aggression. So, our job really is to just uncover hints of aggression, or more than hints of aggression. Big strategies of aggression. At least uncover the aggression, if there is any aggression. That's kind of what we're doing. Or passion, or ignorance. A lot of it's aggression, When you conquer aggression, it frees up a lot. It conquers, to conquer one of these, to conquer passion, conquers all three. To conquer ignorance, conquers all three. But really, to conquer aggression, it's almost like we can work with passion, we can figure that shit out, Or we can work with ignorance, we can figure that shit out. But you're going to be out there murdering hordes with aggression. You're doing more damage with that aggression to yourself. Yeah, guys, it'll put you in the create a lot of sensitivity. It's just like a over and over and over and over and over and over and over. At least to the 24 minor trials. It's in the 12 major trials. Over and over and over, he just says, look into the mirror of your mind, Naropa, the palace of the Dakinis. So there's this like mirror in front of us, this magic mirror. This is a magic mirror. You know, when we gaze, or we don't gaze, it goes a little different. But you know, just look into the mirror of our mind. But it's like a portal, you know. It's the palace of the Dakinis. There's a portal to Drala. It's like we've been living in this cave. We've been hiding in this cave. We are hiding in this cave, you know. We don't want to know the feeling tone, you know. It makes us nauseous. It makes us, I don't know. We can't be that sensitive. It's uncomfortable for us. But you just do it anyway. Or you hide in your cave, you know. You rely on aggression. You rely on passion. You rely on ignorance. Or you be a little brave and step out of your cave into this great eastern sun. So I was going to talk about what is our task in the Karmamudra? What is our task? What do we try to do? How does this work? I don't know. I don't know how far I got with this, but you know, to me, when I was out there doing all of this, I haven't been doing much lately. So it's kind of like a memory in a way, but the point was, you realize that pleasure or bliss, extreme pleasure, it's kind of like bliss, is very difficult to hang in, you know. It's very difficult to hang and knowing the feeling tone. It's very difficult to hang in that kind of, but it's also very difficult to hang in intense pleasure for an extended period. You know, that's the reason people get this shit over with, you know. That's the reason there's such a race to finish by everybody. They don't really want to deal with these other possibilities of extending this intense pleasure and bliss and excitement and intensity. It's like suffering is very hard to handle because there's an intensity to it. I mean, it's the, you know, not just the intensity, but, you know, a little suffering we can handle because it's not that intense. A lot of suffering is very intense, and we really can't handle it very well, easily. But you can learn to. You can learn to handle that intensity, and when you learn both, you know, learning to handle intensity and pleasure is just the best training ever for realizing, oh yeah, it's just like suffering, you know, same stuff. You know, I could probably handle that too, you know, if I could ever learn to handle this. So you just find that, you know, for a woman, it's like, you know, Drunk Rinpoche's mantra with his girlfriends was just one more time, please. They want to stop. They've come X number of times and it's just too intense. They can't deal with it. They just want to stop. And he would just be saying to them, just one more time, please. Just one more time, please. So you ladies got to learn to not stop, make the man come. You got to learn how to give that up somehow. You got to, like, you know, you need a smart man at that level. You know, at that point, you need a smart man that'll kind of take you in hand a little bit, take you on the right road, which is going to be past where you want to go. Maybe you're the smart one. Let's just become the smart one, and then you don't have to have a smart man. You're in control of your own sexuality. Much better. But there's nothing wrong with having a smart man around to help. Trump said was a smart man, you know. Just one more time, please. Nobody can tell him no, I don't think. Take a bold and brave woman to tell that man no at that point. Just give in. It's all right. Further training. It's all just further training. This Vajrayana is really just a trick to get you to train 24/7. This whole thing is just trick you into doing sadhana. Next thing you know, you're doing sadhana 7 hours a day. Trick you into getting into the Karmamudra, and the next thing you know, you're doing this intense work 2, 3, 4 hours a day. It's just train. That's all you do is train, but it in a good way. Turns out that's all you kind of want to do is train. It's not a burden, you know. It's just riding this bliss and emptying this vehicle. It's fused with knowledge and wisdom and knowing and conquering and ruling. But in the meantime, you know, shit, it's you lose large chunks of your previous shit you were carrying around. It just comes off. You know, I could speak a little better for the man. I don't know if I can really speak for the woman, but you'll be speaking. You, as the woman, will be speaking. You will be ruling. You'll be running this show. You will be running this vehicle. You'll be totally in charge of teaching us puny males. But for me, it was like, you know, it's very difficult to hang there. Let's just bang it out, you know. Let's just come and stop this because I can't handle it. But what you need to do, or you know, it's fun to try, and the benefits are beyond belief just for trying. You just try every time to do a little better, and Ariel and I did better every single time. Every time was better than the one before. Beyond belief. Every session was just the mind-blowingest thing beyond belief. And every one was better than the one before. Just from trying, you know. Just from trying. But you get better. If you keep trying, you get better. You know, if you stop trying, you don't get better. That's the secret of all of this. Fail and keep trying. Fail and keep trying. Fail and keep trying. That's glory. That's the Karmamudra. One mistake after another until you attain enlightenment. And the bigger the mistake, the bigger the glory. When we have our big party at the end of the feast, we tell stories about how we really stepped in it. And then how we, you know, became the Dakini, the Daka, by stepping in it. How we've just arose and flew off after stepping in the shit. I just stepped in the shit big time, but at the same time I rose and flew. All you gotta do is, you don't have to be cramming. You just, there is so much power right here, or, you know, just touching that cul-de-sac with anything. You don't have to be racing to the finish. All you gotta do is just touch that cul-de-sac, and it's just, you just don't want to really leave there, you know. You just want to be there and everything wide open. And really, you don't have to horse it, man. That's it. Just that being able to reside in that bliss. That woman is going to be residing in that bliss. It's not going to take, you're going to just be able to drive her like a sensitive horse, you know. You don't have to do much. Except, you know, you gotta be in your seat. You gotta be on top of it. You gotta have trained, you know, together. But when you get good at this, really you just want to be right there, never going too far, never doing too little, never doing too much, never doing too little, never doing too much, never doing too little. But man, that little is just beyond belief. It don't take much toward the too much to drive that woman out of her mind with that cul-de-sac. Without the cul-de-sac, you got a little. You need to go back to square one and get the cul-de-sac fired up, and then all this stuff is possible. You know, there's no bad, there's no wrong. It's impossible to do wrong. The only way you can do wrong is to quit trying. Why would you quit trying? It's inconceivable once you get into this that you would quit trying. I can't see that as a possibility.